Well, coming up, over 1 million Americans have lupus, including singer Selena Gomez, who underwent a kidney transplant. Up next, the very latest on this somewhat mystery disease. Stay with us. Singer Selena Gomez is recovering from a kidney transplant. She posted a picture here on Instagram of herself in a hospital bed next to her best friend, who was the donor. Gomez says she had the transplant earlier this summer to help her battle lupus, an autoimmune disease. Joining me now is Erin Badillo. She is the Executive Director of the Lupus Foundation in Northern California, and Christine Von Raesfeld, a lupus patient and an advocate. Ladies, welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Well, let's start with you, Erin. Give us an idea, because this is hard to diagnose. We don't know a lot about lupus. I admit, I've heard of it, but I had to look it up a little bit. What is lupus?
So lupus is an autoimmune disease that affects 1.5 million Americans, and it's a very heterogeneous disease, meaning it's different for each patient. So those patients, it can affect their kidneys, like Selena. It can affect your brain, your nervous system, your lungs, your heart. And there's actually more lupus patients than sickle cell anemia, cerebral palsy, multiple sclerosis, cystic fibrosis, and AIDS combined.
But it's hard. There's so many symptoms. It's hard to diagnose, right?
Because it mimics other diseases. So it might look like a flu, it might look like arthritis, it might look like any number of things, which causes doctors to really have a hard time allowing patients to get diagnosed.
So it takes time. And Kristen, you got diagnosed when?
In 1989. I originally started with a bleeding disorder, which is now being connected to lupus. And at the age of 22 was when I finally got my diagnosis of full lupus.
But you started having symptoms when you were 14,
at 14
right?
years old.
So it took 8 years to figure out, what do I got here,
yes,
right?
It did. And it was a long process. It took a lot of time, a lot of different doctors. I actually had to switch hospitals. And it's just been a long process.
And how are you affected today? What is a day like for you?
So a day for me, I actually spend a lot of my time volunteering with the Lupus Foundation of Northern California. So I do all of their social media. I spend my day support groups online. I talk to different patients online. I talk to different patients in person.
But what about your symptoms?
So my symptoms, right now I am under control. Well, we're crossing our fingers, because it can change at any moment. That's one of the things about lupus, is that it changes so often.
What were some of your symptoms?
Some of my symptoms were constant joint pain. There was fatigue. I had memory loss, confusion.
You lost the ability to walk?
I lost the ability to walk.
Gosh.
I had my brain has been affected, my lungs have been affected, my heart, my kidneys, pretty much everything, because it's the central nervous system.
So it kind of goes up and down.
It goes up and down.
You don't know when it's going to...
You never know when it's going to hit. So you could be going through a really good period, and then all of a sudden it kind of hits you.
Well, let's talk about Selena Gomez, because now you've got a singer, someone everyone knows that has this disease. She's come out and told everybody, and that's tough for Selena, but good for lupus, because people are talking about it.
Yeah,
right? Selena's
been very open about her disease for a number of years, but I think this kidney transplant has really hit a lot of people, because it's so surprising to see so many young people like her. But there are 100,000 Americans who need a kidney right now, and only about 19,000 will get one this year. And that's lupus and other diseases as well. So it's a really challenging situation. That's why she's so lucky to have a friend who was willing to give her a kidney. But we're really lucky to have her talking about lupus out there. She's a big supporter. She gave proceeds of her most recent concert tour to our research partner, the Lupus Research Alliance, and we're really glad to be, seeing that out there. Nick Cannon, Snoop Dogg, they're all really big lupus supporters. There's quite a few major celebrities who support lupus.
Well, hopefully the word will get out, and maybe a cure someday.
Yeah, we would love that.
I hope so.
All right, Erin and Kristen, thanks so much for coming up. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.